Alright, we are trying something different here. So when it was announced that Standard will rotate every 3 years, I wanted to do some research to see what we get to brew with for an extra year. And some of these might even be budgetary. Alright, so the first thing that comes to mind are the Dragon Legends from Kamigawa that do not see much play anymore. So we have Ao the Dawn Sky, which is the Vigilance guy, and can also get you more stuff onto the battlefield when it dies or make your team really huge. We have Kyrie the Swirling Sky. Haven't really seen that played much, but maybe you can be the one to do that. One of my favorites, Junji the Midnight Sky, if you've looked at some of my previous videos, has pretty powerful 5/5 flying and menace for 5 mana. Lets you discard your opponent's 2 cards, or it lets you put a non-dragon onto the battlefield. So not terrible there. We have the 4 mana Atsushi, the Blazing Sky, which has seen some play in red decks over the past. And then also one of my favorites, Kura the Boundless Sky. And so if you've seen my previous lands deck that took advantage of this card, Flying Death Touch, but also when it dies you can search for 3 lands, put them into your hand, and then also get a XX green spirit creature, so it gives you another creature when it dies. I would recommend checking out that lands deck for some inspiration if you so desire. With these dragons, you want to be prepared for Sunfall, which exiles your creatures, which means you don't get that effect. So maybe that's why we don't see them being played, but I feel they're still decent to play, maybe build around, because they are a threat that you will want to answer or you will die. Alright, dragons. Who doesn't like dragons? We also have, I believe they're also pretty inexpensive as well, because budgets is also a concern when you are playing decks that might suck, or are trying to find out a new brew, because brewing is hard. We also have one of my favorites, Croaking Counterpart. It's a way to copy something on the battlefield. It also has flashback, so if you have a creature that has a fun effect, then or an enter the battlefield effect, then you get to have that effect again as a 1/1 green frog. Exciting. It's also only 3 mana, so it's not too mana hungry. Also, other cards that have done work that I'm excited to stay in Standard. We have Malevolent Hermit, very versatile, 2/1 beater for 2, and then it also lets you stuff a non-creature spell, and then it also comes back as a 2/2 flyer. We also have Jadar, Ghoul Caller of Nephalia. Unassuming 1/1 for 2, but that zombie every turn though. It can either attack or it can also be sacrificed to other sacrifice shenanigans. Alright, we also have Volderin Bloodcaster. This has been a staple in a lot of my budget decks. 2/1 flying for 2 thanks to power creep. It also lets you get blood tokens, which can actually help you early, mid, or late game to help dig for answers, or if you want to sacrifice those blood tokens for other reasons, you can do so. And we have our mid-range all-star, Flying All-Star, Dream Shackle Geist. 3/1 flying, taps down something, or keeps something tapped. You don't see too much Reckless Stormseekers anymore, but it is still in Standard. Your 2/3 give itself haste or something else haste, and then the flip side, you get haste and trample. Hooray! Also, we have Ulvenwald Oddity, a 4/4 haste trample for 4, and then you can transform it, and things get a little nutty. Also, you can build around Lear, Disciple of the Drowned. It gives every instant sorcery card in your graveyard flashback, and spells can't be countered. You might have seen this in my Dimmer Poison deck in Standard, which I'm very high on right now because that is good use of Lear to just poison your opponent out and shut the game out. This has also been used in other strategies, Esper. Maybe you can find a new home for it. We also have Hullbreaker Horror. You don't see being played too much anymore, but it is still standard legal. Big monster 7/8 can't be countered, and then it just returns things to their owner's hands a bunch. Also, not exactly budget, but Toxtril the Corrosive is still in standard. So if you want to build around this, if you happen to have a copy. I've used this in the past if you want to check out the previous black-green Reanimator ramp decks. This can be a target for that as well. Alright, well, this deck is bad, but it's not a deck. All aboard the standard hype train with some brewing ideas. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and what are you excited to brew with in standard? Let me know in the comments below.